Greetings again so soon. I had another pet peeve that I wanted to bring up. Am I complaining too much about some things? Seems like that's all I ever come up with are pet peeves. Anyway, this site is for my Linux ramblings and other things. So, what's the deal with the fact that so many companies will build software for Windows, for Mac, and now that we have such a high presence with Android devices, they'll port them over to Android and the iPad and the iPhone. And then you ask the simple question, well, great, since you have an Android device application and it runs on Android, which is technically running on Linux, then you have a Linux application version of it for it, or a port? And the answer is always, sorry, we don't support Linux, but we support Android. Android is Linux. It's nothing more than saying we support KDE, but we don't support GNOME, or we support LXDE, but we don't support XFCE. You know, it's all the same core. It's all the same underneath the wrapper. You know, it just makes me upset because little things like for a long time you could get Netflix, for instance. You could stream it on Windows only, and then they came up and said, okay, well now you can stream it on a Mac too, and then they made it so it works on Android. They're like, oh great, well if it works on Android it should work in Linux, right? No. But, thanks to some very good developers out there, we now have the ability to use it within a wine situation, I think, a customized flavor, either which way. I've got it working now in Gen 2, I've got it working in Mint, and I haven't tried anything else yet, but to be honest with you, I so seldom use those devices anyway for Netflix anymore. I've got so many other capable devices. But recently I wanted to do a video on the whole Arch versus Gen 2. As I said in my last video, Linux Format, which is a UK magazine for Linux, and what is up with that? Every awesome magazine that I have found out there that talks about Linux and all the new stuff, it's all UK. Now, more power to you, UK. That is awesome. I'm glad you guys have such a great magazine for Linux. A couple of different ones actually, and I was looking for a United States magazine, that not because I'm stuck on US versus UK, but because it's expensive for me to shell out almost $165, $170 for a subscription to a magazine. That's just, oh man, I complain about $1 an issue, let alone that's just too much for me to spend. But recently, since I saw that they now have Zenio for Android and I have a nice tablet, I wanted to go ahead and get a subscription to it again, and I paid what I still think is quite exorbitant for Linux Format. I think it's about $60, $65 for 13 issues just to have it in digital format, which I like the digital format. But I got two pet peeves about that. One, I cannot read my Zenio subscriptions inside of Linux, so I can't read Linux Format inside of Linux. And my second pet peeve is because it's a digital subscription, and I haven't been able to figure out if maybe there's something else. I've gone to Linux Format's website in hopes that maybe I could look at this article to get some more information about it without having to pull out my tablet and find it and have it on the system that I'm using right now, because I just wanted to see a few more things that they had to say to make my video about Arch versus Gen 2, and the whole pre-built bin packages versus compiling them. Is it really worth compiling if there's already a package that's built for your architecture, etc., etc.? But I get off this point. They say, yeah, you can look at that article in a PDF. All you got to do is give us your subscription number and your surname, your last name, your family name. Okay, great. So I go to Zenio. Where's my subscription number for this? You don't have a proper subscription. What do you mean I don't have a proper... I got a digital subscription. Isn't that good enough? Yes, but that's not the same as a print subscription, and so you don't get the same rights. So you're saying I'm paying all that money for a digital subscription, and yet I can't go onto their website and get any of the benefits that's on their website as a subscriber of the digital version? I'm saving the world by going green here. What do you mean? I can't go to your site and see this better. Flustered and flabbergasted. What do y'all think? Anyway, that's my topic for today. Don't expect a video every day. I mean, this is just a trying to get back into the swing of things type of thing. So, until I hear from y'all have a good one. Morning, good evening, good night, whatever you're having. Enjoy it. Bye.